Hello Livewires, Heather Boyd Wire here, and today it's Tip Tuesday. Today I had a special request from the Airstream Outlaw TV to make double hold spacer beads for their guitar string bracelet. I'm using 18 and 20 gauge German style wire, a variety of glass beads, and I'll be using tiger tail instead of guitar strings and some 2mm crimps. I'm using Beadalon tools, including their Slimline series chain nose and round nose pliers, their Glimmer series nipper tool, the nylon jaw pliers, and their 6-step bail making pliers. We will start with some 18 gauge German wire to make one of the spacers. You can just cut a piece whatever length you want and make a few of them. We are starting with an infinity sign shape with the round nose pliers. So bring it around, and then we are just going to give it a little clip and pinch it so the little ends are tucked in. Give it a good little pinch. And for the next style, it's going to be a little bit more complicated. We are going to do a kind of double infinity sign. So we are going to make 2 loops with the round nose pliers and then flip it around and go back the other way to make another loop. But we want to make sure we're going back the opposite direction of what we started, so these loops will sit right beside each other. It's a little bit tricky. You'll have to get your chain nose pliers in there just to push this second loop down and get your round pliers to bring it back around. So you will have 2 loops, one right beside the other. You can do the first method if it's easier. This way the 2 loops will be stuck together. And clip it flush, and then give it a little pinch so it's more flat. Just give it a squeeze, hold it right in there, pinch it so there's no pokey ends. Do any adjustments that you need, and you can go in with your nylon jaw pliers to give it another little press. Now we are going to do the larger component. So we have about 6 inches of the German wire. I'm using 20 gauge wire. It's easier to work with. Make your initial loop and get your nylon jaw pliers to bring the wire around into a spiral. Hold it and rotate the wire. You can make these as big as you want. I'm just going to keep going around until I have just over 2 inches left. So hold and rotate, adjusting it as you go. And now we're going to push the back wire back a bit so we can wind the other wire around so it will hold firmly in place. So I've kind of twisted them together. So you see it's solid. Give it a pinch. That's not going anywhere. And now we're going to bend the wire at an angle out, and we need to make some loops. So with the round nose pliers, we're going to bring it around 2 times. It looks nice with 2 coils. You can do more if you like. We've brought it around 2 times. Hold it firmly and bring the end around and clip it. And we have to do the same on the other side. Make a centered loop, bring it around a second time so we have a double loop. Hold it with the round pliers, bring it around, wiggle it so it's centered, and bring the end around. And we will cut it flush. These make perfect components for bracelets. And adjust those loops so they're straight and centered. And here's the finished spacer component. Now we have to make our bracelet, so I just put a 4mm bead on a piece of the tiger tail, and I brought the two ends through in opposite directions, and I'm going to center that bead on the cord. Now you could put together these bracelets any way you like, and I'm going to go ahead and start beading. I have 4mm beads and also 6mm glass faceted beads. So we're going to go ahead and do a kind of pattern on there. It's always fun making decisions about patterns of beads. I don't know if you guys struggle with that, but I always struggle with choosing my beads. Now what I'm doing is putting on 2 of the infinity sign spacers. I find these much easier to make than the ones that are coiled together, and they're going to hold together once all the beads are on. And then after your next bead pattern, you're going to put on your fancy spiral component, and you see the bracelet coming along. Once you're finished, I tried it 2 ways. I did with 4 spiral beads. It ended up being a little long for me, but make it the length that you need. I'm going to put a 2mm crimp on there, and then I'm going to put on my clasp. You can make your own. I'll link up tutorials for the clasps. And we're going to put the 2 ends back through the crimp, and this is going to hold it together. So just give it a little tug to make sure there's not too much slack. Pull it with your pliers so it's even a little bit tighter, and you could even individually tug each piece of tiger tail. Now we're going to get our crimping tool. This is the Beadalon micro crimping tool for the 2mm crimps. Give it a little pinch, and then you'd give it a half turn and pinch it with the other part of the crimping tool to pinch that crimp together. I'll link up the tutorial for the safety clasps. Here we have the bracelet with the 4 spirals on there. You just hook it in place. Very pretty. Here shows one end of the clasp and the other end. It's a very beautiful bracelet, and here we have with the 4 spirals or with the 3. Thanks so much for watching the video. Be sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for lots more wire art and jewelry making tutorials. You can also join the Wire Makers Club on Facebook to share photos of your wire art and wire jewelry. You can get the templates for most of my projects in my Etsy DIY shop. Be sure to use the coupon code SAVE25 to save 25% when you purchase any 5 templates, tutorials, or ebooks in my shop. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you the next time.